Break the lane, I'm trying to make a name, but my sick thoughts got me by my brain. I'm searching for my, how ironic how we hustle for the same, but get bracelets for trying to get a chain, and they wanna take up.
There are people in this so-called conscious community who go around preaching that DNA is not real, DNA doesn't work, it's not an exact science, and it cannot help you with genealogy or finding your family, which is all 100% untrue. Well, let's listen to Chief Holiday and see what he says.
Can you and your cousin that you never met across the country spit in a tube and find out that y'all cousins, brother?
Yes.
How can you do that without you guys filling out paperwork, brother? How is it possible for them to match you and your cousin up that you never met by both of y'all spitting in the tube, brother? Explain it to the people. Go ahead, brother.
The same way adopted people take ancestry tests and find their family that when they was adopted, they never knew. You spit in the tube.
Okay, so I help people, adopted people find their genealogy, brother. I help people find their genealogy that's been adopted, brother. But they're not finding it through spit, sir. They're not finding they real family members through spit.
Little sister.
Cass and Julia connected over the fact that they were both adopted and raised by single mothers in the U.S.
My Facebook, I have timelines of us, and the captions are like, sisters or nah, like, what do y'all think? Or, 23andMe, we need DNA tests. Like, we have literally been joking around about this for 8 years.
Using a 23andMe DNA test, Cassandra started the search for her birth family 2 years ago, and says she was delighted to be welcomed into a large, loving family. Even though they went to different agencies and their adoption form said they couldn't be sisters, Cass still felt there was a possibility she was related to Julia.
I hop in my car 2 days later and I drive up to Connecticut and I force her to do the DNA test.
It was a late-night phone call in January 2021 when Julia got to relay the news.
I said, Cassie, I am in fact your biological sister, and it was one of those moments that you don't even know what to say.
I got you, brother. They're not finding their family member through spit. They finding their family members through records. Like somebody said, okay, well, this is the real record of the birth of your birth mother, brother, or your birth father, brother.
Even though they went to different agencies and their adoption form said they couldn't be sisters,
I am in fact your biological sister.
They're not spitting in the tube, brother, because that means
that's not true, brother. That's not.
Bro, just explain to the people how two people can spit in the tube and find out their genealogy, bro. Go ahead.
They spit in the tube. They send their DNA in. What they do is they make sure it matches to a certain amount of markers. What they're gonna tell you is you share this much DNA. It could be 8 centimorgans.
No, hey, bro, you got to be a little bit more detailed. You got to be a little bit more detailed in the process of the spit, brother.
Listen, bro. Listen.
Okay, go.
So, I think I know what the problem is. We have people in the conscious community, specifically the Aboriginal community, that are getting in front of hundreds and thousands of people at a time and talking about things that they know nothing about. One is DNA. This is a CN calculator. This is what I was trying to explain before I was cut off when I was talking to Chief Holiday. But this is what I'm talking about. So here it says self. So this is you. And when you take these DNA tests and you look at your cousin matches, they're going to tell you you have 94 centimorgans related to this person, such and such with this person. And this determines how many centimorgans, determines how close related you are. So when you do a paternity test and it tells you you are the father, it's because your centimorgans was high enough to reach a centimorg level where the only relationship it could be is a parent. because you share that much DNA. And only a parent can pass down that much DNA. So these ancestry tests and the paternity test use the same methodology of judging how you're related. So here we're going to go up to the calculator. I'm going to put in 94 centimorgans. So when I put in 94 centimorgans, it gives me options of how the relationship would be. At 94 centimorgans, it couldn't be a parent. It cannot be a grandparent, a sibling, a half-sibling, a first cousin. Because if it was that close of a relationship, there would be more DNA shared. So I put in 94 centimorgans because on my DNA test, I have a cousin who is my third cousin, which is 94 centimorgans through our second great grandparent. I chose him because he doesn't have his real name there. So let me go back to the centimorgan chart, and we look at 94 centimorgans. We see third cousin right here. That relationship came through a great-great-grandparent, as you can see up here.
Yeah.
I don't need to know all that, bro. All I know is you are related by the strand of your centimorgans, how long it is, the identical markers they find in it, and then they tell you. And they even have a list on the accuracy to how far back it goes and the accuracy within it.